Welcome to Blazing Baseball episode 19.
19.
And it's a good day today because yesterday the Astros won.
They sure did.
Yep. And we just watched a video that is in the description right now of the article with it. But this is by thespun.com. The title is MLB World Reacts to Kyle Schwarber's Wild Ejection. And it says Philadelphia Philly slugger Kyle Schwarber holds the early title for ejection of the year
It's a good one.
in Major League Baseball. Yeah, so we highly recommend watching this. It's not even a minute-long video that's in it. And yeah, he throws his bat. He yells at the ump because the pitch is down right one and it looks like a ball, and he tells him he's been calling it wrong all day, and he gets ejected, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty theatrical. He takes the bat, slams it on the ground, dances up, throws his hands to the right, then to the left, telling the umpire how bad he called three strikes against him.
Yeah,
not just the last one. So It was pretty comical. He immediately was rejected because he slammed his bat down and threw his helmet down, and it was it's worth seeing. It's a good laugh, but the ump was wrong. The pitch was low and outside on the third strike. So tough call against the Phillies. So you can understand the frustration level from the player.
Yep, and in the article they go over some Twitter comments from people, and I think also in the commentator itself in the video during it live was saying he's speaking for all the batters right now.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a sense of feeling like yes, someone's finally telling this ump he's doing his job badly.
Well,
so everyone kind of feels behind the batter.
Yeah, he had a wide strike zone, the ump. So sometimes the umps call him wide, and in this case, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So not good to see the player get ejected, but it does happen on occasion. Usually the manager will run out and get in the middle, and then he'll protect the batter. But the batter threw his bat down first, then his helmet. So once you do that and you embarrass the ref, then you get ejected, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I watched All Madden pretty recently, and it kind of goes over how he kind of changed coaching, and that he would yell at the refs.
Yeah,
so maybe he was the one that started that, and it kind of went into all other kind of sports, starting at football. But maybe it's kind of gotten out of hand, maybe. And I think if in this situation the batter was just said, hey, maybe that was low, it might help his team more than yelling at the ump.
Well, he didn't help the team because then he didn't play anymore. So
right,
he's one of their best players. So he definitely didn't help the team by losing his temper. But it's part of the game, and the ump, from what I saw, made a bad call. So he did get called out for it, and the manager came out and yelled at him too, but the manager didn't get ejected. So
didn't yell at him as bad as the batter.
No, the batter was theatrical and quite funny.
Yeah.
Over the top.
Yep.
All right. So the Astros won last night in an exciting game against the Toronto Blue Jays at Houston Stadium with 39,000 fans, Minute Maid Park. It was a nail biter. The Astros won it in the bottom of the 10th inning, 8-7. We got some hitting. Our hitters started back. We had 4 doubles. Brantley, Pena, Gurriel, and Bregman had doubles. Pena had a home run in the bottom of the 10th, and Brantley had a homer in the 4th. So we had a total of 11 hits, got to 8 runs versus the Blue Jays, who had 10 hits and 7 runs. So we won a nail biter at the end. The winning pitcher was Taylor, who pitched in the top of the 10th. He got the win for the Astros. Starting pitcher Garcia went 6 innings, gave up 5 earned runs on 5 hits. He had 6 strikeouts and 1 base on balls, but he did give up 2 homers. But the winning pitcher was Taylor. The losing pitcher for the Blue Jays was Romero, who was pitching in the bottom of the 10th inning, and he gave up the homer to Pena. Penna, the rookie shortstop, slammed a dead center field homer at 425 feet. Exit speed was 106 miles an hour. So he slammed one. He's showing some power besides the fact that he's a speedster. And so he's picking up his game and he's playing very well. It was his first big contribution to the team by winning in the bottom of the 10th yesterday. So a big win for the Astros. Astros are still one game under 500 at 7-8, and later we'll go over the standings.
Yep, it feels good to not get swept by the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Oh yeah. Win the last one,
and so
good.
Tonight we got a Texas to Texas game.
Yep.
So the Astros are going to play the Texas Rangers.
Yep.
All right.
And Framber Valdez will be on the mound for the Astros, who is left-handed. He was 1-for-1 with a 4.5 ERA and 12 strikeouts. And then Dane Dunning will be on the mound for the Rangers. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's 0-for-1 with a 5.68 ERA and 14 strikeouts.
All right. Some of the batters against Dunning have been doing well, right?
Yep. Most notably, Alvarez batting .667.
Yeah.
And Tucker batting .667 also. So hopefully they can take advantage of this pitcher right now because their averages are a little bit lower than what we would like them right now.
Yeah, I mean, for the season, they're a little low, but they're having a lot of success against Dunning. So hopefully they're going to continue that, and they're going to get a couple of hits tonight, maybe a couple of homers.
Yep. But it also seems like that batting averages are lower the starting of the season.
Yeah, and
that could be because of the ball humidifiers in every single stadium now, as we discussed yesterday.
So there's the averages right there.
So the batting averages in comparison, we have the Astros at 26th, batting .209 average, and then the Rangers 18th at .228. We're 23rd in runs with 54. The Rangers are 8th with 71. We're 5th in home runs with 17, and they are 17th with 13. On base percentage, we are 24th with .285, and they are 21st with .295. Slugging, we're 16th at .362. They're 22nd at .343. And then ERA, we're 18th at 3.65, and they are 28 at 5.08. Home runs allowed, we are 12th with 13th, and they are 30th with 24. And whip, we are 17th with 1.25, and they're 26th with 1.44.
Right. So the pitching for the Astros is better than the Rangers. So hopefully that's going to allow us to score more runs and have a big offensive performance against the 3-game set against the Rangers this week.
Yep.
All right. The Yankees. Yesterday afternoon were going up against the Cleveland Guardians at a Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. The Yankees won the game 10-2. So they had a lot of hitting going on. The Yankees had 13 hits, and Lemieux had 3 RBIs. Rizzo had 2 RBIs. Torres had 2 hits. So together, let's see, Rizzo had a homer. Lemieux had a homer. Castro had a homer. So, they're blasting. They're hitting him long, and Judge had a double. Lemieux had a double. Rizzo and Torres and Gallo all had doubles. So there was a lot of extra base hits and a lot of homers for the Yankees yesterday. The Bronx Bombers are back. They scored a lot of runs, 10 runs, double digits. At the stadium was 39,000 fans at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And the winning pitcher was Cole. Cole pitched for 6.2 of an inning. He gave up 4 hits, 0 earned runs, and he had 9 strikeouts and 1 walk. So Cole was dominant. That's really important. He's got to win 20 games for the Yankees if they're going to go to the pennant race against the Astros. The losing pitcher was Savale, and he's 0-2 with an ERA of 9. So he got rocked by the Yanks. So he only got through 3 innings, and he gave up 6 runs when they yanked him. All right, so the Yankees moved to tie for first place. They're 10-6, and we'll go over the standings, right?
Yep, feels good to sweep the Guardians.
We'll go. And today, Monday, there's 7 games. Who's playing today? Let's see. It's not on there. I'm talking about Baker Mayfield. That's good. Oh, he got inducted.
We have ESPN Sports Center on the background right now.
He got inducted into Oklahoma's Heisman Trophy statue ceremony. It's a nice statue of him. So, and we like Baker Mayfield. He's from Lake Travis, and Kobe played football with Baker Mayfield for 5 years. Anyway, so go ahead. What do we got going on today?
We have the Giants and the Brewers. We have the Rockies and the Phillies. We have the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. We have the Mets and the Cardinals. We have the Astros and the Rangers. We have the Guardians and the Angels and the Dodgers and the D-backs.
All right. So those are the 7 games on tap for baseball today. Standings. Let's see what the standings are.
Yankees are tied for first with the Blue Jays. They're both 10-6 for the AL East. AL Central, the Twins are half a game over the Cleveland Guardians. In the AL West, the Seattle Mariners are a game over the LA Angels. In the NL East, the New York Mets are 4 games over Miami.
Wow.
In the NL,
amazing Mets are hot.
Oh, yep. In the NL Central, the Cards and Brewers are in first, tied 2 games over Pittsburgh. And then in the NL West, the Dodgers is a half game over the Giants.
The Dodgers are still in first.
Yep. But that's a
half a game.
Always tight. That's a loaded.
Yeah, it's a good division, and they're tight. All right, we got the schedule. We got the standings. So you want to flip over to Texas Longhorns?
Yeah, and we'll go back to MLB.
Okay, so the Longhorns won. They swept the 3rd game of the series against the Baylor Bears yesterday. They're 30-13 on the season. They're 9-6 in the conference play in the Big 12. They have a 4-game winning streak now, and they're 18-4 at home. So they're a tough team to beat at home. They won 13-4 last night, and yesterday afternoon. And there was 7,063 fans at the game. So they were sold out for all 3 games against the Baylor Bears. So they're packing the house, and Menendez continues to accelerate. He had 3 hits yesterday, along with Austin Todd. They both had 3 hits, so they contributed to getting 12 hits for the Longhorns. And next on the agenda is, I don't know. We're going to play RGV. I'm not sure who that is. They're playing RGV. On Tuesday night, and then we're going against Oklahoma State, back into division conference play against Oklahoma State. 3 games set at Austin, at UT at Dishwalk Field. So that'll be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
UT RGV is the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley.
Rio Grande Valley. Okay, so they're playing a team that's in the University of Texas system out of the Rio Grande Valley, and they're going to be down south playing that game on Tuesday.
Yep.
So we'll get you an update on that on Tuesday. All right. So Texas is looking good.
Yep. And so there currently is no lineup for the Astros right now. So
they didn't put it in yet.
The Blazing Baseball prediction right now. Unless if you think, do you think these will switch, or you think this is going to be the same?
I think
Probably?
it's the same because McCormick's batting 324, so I think he will
Yeah.
lead off.
All right. So yeah, we're basing it off of yesterday, which is McCormick at center field, Brantley at left field, then Bregman at third base, then Alvarez at DH, Gurriel at first base, Tucker at right field, Diaz at second base, Penn at shortstop, and Maldonado at catcher.
Yeah.
And then for the Rangers predicted blazing baseball lineup, we're going with yesterday's also. And we have Simon at second base, Seager at shortstop, Garver at DH, Garcia at right field, Lowe at first base, Heim at catcher, Solak at left field, Culberson at third base, and White at center field.
Okay. Astros need to win the game to come to 500 and be even for the season, get out of fourth place and get into third place.
Mhm.
So the Astros, they got to keep hitting, and the pitching's got to step up, and they got to perform. So hopefully today will be a good start for them on the 3-game series in Arlington against the Rangers.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then the last baseball news that I saw today that I saw interesting. This is by yahoosports.com, and this is by Michael McCann. And it goes over, apparently there's a letter from the commissioner of baseball, Robert Manfred. Am I saying that right? Manfred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manfred.
Manfred. And he apparently wrote a letter to Cashman in 2017.
The general manager of the Yankees.
Yep, general of the Yankees. And so there's a court case going on right now, and it says it was filed under seal during pretrial discovery for Olsen versus MLB, in which daily fantasy sports contestants insist that MLB teams fraudulently misled consumers. Had DFS contestants known that teams were cheating, they would have placed their money on different players.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Plaintiff Christopher Olsen recently told Sportico that courts should, quote, recognize the distinction between diffuse random acts of rules breaking, like the use of corkbacks by individual players, and a concentrated, coordinated campaign like the ones in which the Houston Astros engage, and that MLB took steps to downplay and conceal. So this letter seems like it's gonna be released, and it's just interesting to see what the letter will say.
Yeah.
And
well, the problem was with that incident, that wasn't just the Astros, that was a lot of teams.
Mhm.
They were
That's
taking
what it's being alleged by some players.
Yeah. So, it's interesting that it went to Cashman. Yeah. So the Yankees are involved too. Boston Red Sox were involved, Astros and a few other teams. But recent information came out that half the teams were engaged in the same practice.
Well, yeah, some players said that.
Yep.
So doing a guesstimate.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I think it's water under the bridge right now. I don't think that's happening. I think it got straightened out. It was unfortunate event or events that transpired. As I always said before, baseball's a great game, and it's got a great history. It's going to continue to be the greatest game in America, and everybody's got to play fair.
Yep, and it says right here also, an interesting paragraph. It says, too, actually, as told by MLB in 2017, kind of going off what you're saying, too, evidence failed to corroborate allegations the Yankees had used YES network cameras to decode signs.
Right.
The team, however, was fined for improperly using a dugout phone. MLB also fined the Boston Red Sox that year. An assistant trainer had used an Apple Watch to relay signs from Yankees catchers to Red Sox players.
Yeah, Apple Watch.
The scandal attracted only mild public interest until 2020, when MLB levied massive penalties against the Houston Astros for a scheme involving a hidden camera and a trash can used to signal pitches. Manfred also punished the Red Sox in 2020 because their replay operator had acted improperly during the 2018 regular season. And it says the Astros were vilified. The Yankees and Red Sox, meanwhile, have largely evaded meaningful rebuke.
Yeah, that's true. So it's really about trying to figure out what the next pitch is going to be. They were trying to identify
Yeah.
the next pitch coming in. If it was a fastball, they would try to get that information to the batter, so they knew that a fastball was coming, and they had a better chance at hitting a fastball because most of the players are good fastball hitters. So it's unfortunate that all this happened. It involved technology that hadn't been available before. Using an iPhone watch. That's pretty slick technology. And so, unfortunately, they tried to do something and it didn't work out very well. Fortunately, they don't do that anymore, and I don't think they will. I think that they learned their lesson from that, because that doesn't help the game of baseball. That's not what it's about.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting what the letter says, but
Yeah.
it's kind of in the past, and hopefully they're not doing the Apple Watch or
cameras in the trash can.
or anything like that.
Yeah, silly stuff. Yeah. Things like this happened in football too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they had deflated footballs and things like that. So I mean, things happen.
Pictures of opposite sidelines.
Yes, there's I think baseball itself, from the history of baseball, they always were trying to catch the signals from the catcher to the batter, and that happened, just by sight.
Yeah.
And they would try to figure out what the next pitch was.
Yeah, tipping pitches. As they call it.
Yeah. So that way it would give an advantage to the batter.
Yeah, but it's only done with eyesight.
Yeah,
watching what the pitcher does.
So, but that was legal.
Yeah, it still is. Right?
It still is. You can still do it that way.
For sure. People
I'm sure are still trying.
And we're gonna, probably see in this season, like all other seasons, someone's gonna read someone so well that they're gonna get pissed off at the other person, and it's gonna be funny. But it's kind of like, well, don't tip your pitches and try to. Well, that's try to make everything secretive.
The history of that goes back to Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, when he threw a fastball, he would open his mouth. And the opposing managers realized that when he went to throw a fastball, that he opened his mouth. So when he opened his mouth, they knew the heat was coming. And so that was the story about Babe Ruth and how they read Babe Ruth because Babe Ruth was a pitcher before he became the greatest hitter. So that's a telltale sign of what was going on back then. Yeah, in the history of baseball.
Yep. So
Monday we're off to a good start. 7 good games lined up here. And hopefully the Astros are going to kick it off for us and have a start of a good week.
Yep. And we will catch y'all next time on Blazing Baseball tomorrow.
Blazing Baseball.
Peace.
Peace out.